Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm holding like a microphone thing. All right, I'm in Starbucks right now. Obviously, I have no regard for anyone right now. I don't have the luxury of that, so I just got to do this. Sorry if I'm blinding light. I'm like facing the window, so I know I just kind of turned albino, and so long for being half Mexican. Anyways, hey, I just want to do a real quick recap of Team NXG. So first, let's take a look at the time there. So let's go back in time. So here we go. I'm back. Day 3, y'all. We've returned to Team NXG, baby, and we are going to be doing no gi today. So I'm really excited. I've got my no gi attire on, which when you watch the film, you'll be thinking like I like to wear a lot less clothes for the sake of. Sorry, I got water on me. All right, you'll be thinking that I like to wear less clothes for the sake of trying to look good. False. Yeah, it's for laundry reasons. It's hard to wash your clothes when you live out of a van. So the less I wear, the easier to clean. Yeah, so that's it. So anyway, so we're going to jump on the mats. We're going to see what it's like. We've already got some of the guys gathering. That's about it. So here we go. All right, y'all, here we go. Welcome back. All right, your boy Mission Mike is now doing some no-gi at Team NXG, and you're about to watch hell break loose. I am that awesome. I'm just kidding. Anyways, oh geez, sorry. I should drink some water first. I'm at a Starbucks, by the way. I'm going to be quiet again. One day, maybe I'll have a van big enough with an office. But anyways, here we go. Okay, so I'm going against Professor Mike, Coach Mike, whatever you want to call him, Big Mike. And so at this point, I'm trying to work around, and okay, so I'm trying to shove the knee down because I obviously got to get to the side, and he's got that shin frame in there, and of course when he was climbing over the back, that gives him a lot of mobility. So at this point, my goal is essentially to create a wall using like the lead leg and the arm, and so of course he broke that, did like a little bit of that happened so fast. Was it an arm drag maybe? Okay, so now I'm kind of playing guard. I'm trying to get towards my base. So he pulls guard. He's setting up for what looks like a guillotine, but because I have that hip isolated, I try to step over. And from here, I'm trying to secure to the side, okay? Because I had that underhook, or I saw the underhook, so of course that's why I went for it. Wasn't able to get it. Let's see. So now I'm at the side control. I'm trying to essentially what it looks like. It's hard to remember some of these things, like after the next day and not in the moment. But I was trying to secure that underhook, get under that arm, so I could work around. His frames are too strong, so now I'm going to the other side, switch to mount. Let's see. And from here, I'm keeping the head up so he can't bridge, and essentially going to try to set up a mounted triangle. That's my goal. It's usually one of the games I play, and God, that was smooth. Sheesh Louise. That was like some Houdini stuff, right? That was magic. Sorcery. And so, okay, same thing, trying to pass over. The legs are trapped, so it looks like I'm going to try to squeeze him and back my legs out, right? And so he's kind of engaging me with that hook. I can feel his foot at that point. Once the hook kind of breaks down, I try to reset up. Was I doing a submission? God, it's all so fast. This is how dumb I am. This is why I lose, y'all. Is if I understood more of the game of what was happening, this stuff wouldn't happen. So anyways, he's trying to set up kind of like an arm triangle, and he does it. There you go. So he wasn't trying, he did. Yeah, so there's my first loss. I'm over there trying to come up with a new strategy. Fix the knee pads. Got bad knees. Old age, it'll get you. Drink your milk, y'all. Make sure you get enough calcium and fiber or something like that. Anyways, okay, so same thing. I'm trying to penetrate. I need to get my butt down, but I'm trying to find like an opening. And at this point, I use kind of that underhook to neutralize once I felt him kind of sweeping me or whatever. And then same thing, I'm trying to pin the leg. So I use his head to turn him. But the problem is like right there, I almost had my knee to the hips. You got to control the hips. Like, you have to. And so I turned him over, but the second I was getting there, it wasn't there. So now at this point, I'm trying to use kind of his arm to neutralize. Yeah, he's so good at his reversal. Look at that. He understands my pressure and where I was and my lack of base in areas. That's how he keeps sweeping me. So that's why that stuff happens. And he was kind enough to throw my cool headgear out. All right, so now you're seeing... Sorry, I should have drank water. I'm all... Yeah, there you go. Got choked again. And let's see. Let me see if maybe I can edit this out. All right, yeah, so here we go. Same thing. So going to try to, once again, I got to penetrate. I got to pass this guy's guard. Okay, see that underhook? Whenever I start going for that, usually I go for like a knee slide. It wasn't there, so now I'm going to try to step over. He was shutting that down, so I'm kind of trying to return into it again. Same thing, trying to keep the underhook, trying to step around. And if I can get around or turn it into maybe like a leg drag, I will. I've only got a few guard passes that I really use, and I just kind of cycle through them. So it's a little bit of an arm drag, didn't quite work. Probably would have tried to turn it into like a leg drag. So now I'm pinning his legs together so he can't do a butterfly on me. And I'm trying to do like an over-under to pass. Same thing, trying to get to the crossface, boom. And then from here, since I was already able to almost pass the hip, the goal essentially would be to go for mount. He's heavily on his side, so I'm using my balance. And, of course, he just got me. Wow. I forgot that happened in this roll. And I thought I was going to be able to keep talking about all the great stuff I was doing at that time. But no, it looks like I got choked up. Okay, I'm making the mistake of not having my arm more to the inside of my knee. That's another thing is trying to, when you have that wall going, that's right there. Like, that's more correct. Okay, so trying to pass the legs over. But the same thing, I have to get to his hips. He's doing, of course, a great job of framing. This time so it looks like I got to the hips. So this time I'm trying to, before I begin moving, I'm trying to keep his hips isolated because that's his means of escape. And essentially, I want to get try to get my knees over there. Let's see. But he caught what looks like basically like a Kimura grip to produce that reversal. And so now I'm trying not to get Kimura. So I'm trying to get the frame in there. I'm going to try to get my knee in there if possible. He reverses over. I think he was kind of looking for some leg locks. Yeah. And so from here, same thing. I'm going to try to create. I'm going to try to attack his arms. It's kind of, I don't even remember the name of this position. It's like 50-50 or something. I can't remember. And so anyway, so I'm in danger of a heel hook here. So I'm like, all right, let me keep him close some of this distance. And I need to pass his right leg off of his own left. But at the same time, it's hard to do that because, yeah, so right there as he begins moving, it's like I have to be careful not to let some of the space go or then, of course, he'll finish me. So it's kind of... So there we go. So I'm first trying to get that leg free, and now at this point I'm trying to get on that leg. Same thing. He had it. He just had it too deep. It was too close, and he was polite enough to not submit me right there. He just kind of he got it. He could have finished it. The problem with attacks on the knee and a lot of leg locks is unlike some of the other stuff. There's not a lot of pain. So it's just kind of like you go from feeling fine to just you hear a pop, and that's your ACL tearing. And I've seen this stuff happen. Like, witness it. It's ugly. It's like the guy thinks he's fine. You got to have the maturity to just tap and don't make the guy finish it. And if he has the etiquette to not just destroy my ACL and recognize that I'm not as talented, then I need to have the etiquette to, appreciate that. Okay, so he's kind of postured up right now. I need to break his posture. And so, of course, I go for some of these grips, but his reversals are pretty slick. So I'm trying to execute some balance so that he doesn't complete it. But, yeah, look at that. It's not too freaking shabby. The way he takes that, it's almost like a whole 360 movement. Okay, so at this point, I toyed a little bit with the De La Riva. Boom. Okay, I have no idea what just happened with the audio. It literally just shut off. I'll tell you what it is. I'm freaking using gay equipment right at the dadgum pinnacle of this thing. Well, anyways, I tried to set up that De La Riva, tried to get like this, I got the sweet. I don't know. It's like when your equipment dies, what the freak am I supposed to say? He beat me over and over and over. Here we go, y'all. I'm going to do some recap. So basically, okay, so just want to talk about Coach Michael Bateman first. Like, that guy, he was just awesome. I mean, technically wise, it's like rolling with him. he's just got such a great guard, and he chains his stuff together well. He's got a few layers of like his game, you know, in putting his plans together. In fact, that was even one of his tips for me when I was like asking him what I could have done better. And one of the things he said is like, learn to impose your will more. Like, have your strategy more, have the layers of it and whatnot. And so anyways, okay, next up, let me see. Okay, and then when I heard him talk, like, I mean, the stuff he had to say was crazy. The stuff he had to say was like, he's a brilliant guy, and he's real intellectual, and I learned a lot from him, just like life lessons and whatnot. But and you know, I won't try to recap it all, but basically he said, I asked what his mission was, and it turns out, so he's a believer too. He wasn't ashamed of it all. If you're thinking of visiting the place, you know, whatever you believe me, you're welcome. He welcomes every concept and ideology there, you know, but I mean, it's like, in the same way you would have your own, he has his own, so of course, like, he's like a believer. And he's talking about it, and I asked him like what his mission was, and his was that he sees the benefit of adversity in our lives, the growth that comes from that. So he wants to be in a darker part of the town, a darker place, you know, and create, though, like a safe and comfortable environment where you can come in there, submit yourself to adversity, and grow. And it's beautiful. It plays tribute to just the concept that it's like of just one's own growth. So and that's the thing, is it's like we can grow from okay, for example, to put it into perspective, I'm ripping all this stuff off of him. But basically, how do I say this? You know how self-discipline, like if you start going to the gym and you work out a bunch, you're going to learn self-discipline. If you learn to diet and you learn to say no to sweets, you're learning self-discipline. So self-discipline can be harvested from a variety of places. But he was basically, you know, same thing. It's like learning to push through, learning not to quit, learning to overcome like adversity and to overcome like oneself. You can find that in a couple different avenues, but jiu-jitsu and martial arts, it's beautiful. Not to mention you learn like self-defense, which is invaluable in this life. You know, you weaponizing yourself is 10 times more useful than you owning a weapon. So anyways, so that was his mission. Yeah, and so last night it was last thing is it was an incredible experience. It was awesome. He's an incredible instructor, and as much as you'll learn from martial arts, you're going to learn a lot about yourself. And so can't recommend the place enough. Like Nogi night was a blast. And he gave me another great tip, which is like you know your own path. Like there's so many different flavors of like jiu-jitsu out there. There's so many flavors of martial arts. Who's right, who's wrong? One place says do it this way, the next place says do it that way. So who's truly right? And ultimately, at the end of the day, if you know what you're after, if you know what you want out of it all, then you'll know when you're hearing what works for you and what is right for you individually. But you got to know what you're after. So anyways, yeah, love the place. It was awesome. Check it out. Can't recommend it enough. Team NXG. And you know what? We'll see where the next place we go to is. But I definitely plan on visiting that one again. And definitely made grew the family, you know. So, hey, hope you're doing well. Do me a favor, you know, like, comment. Come on, freaking help me out. Come on. Got like 3 subscribers by the time you're watching this. Help me. Come on, you know, I got bills too. All right. Sheesh. But no, do me a favor. Like, comment, or if you got like questions, or if you have like thoughts or suggestions or whatever you want to see in the videos, leave a comment, you know. So anyways, hey, talk to you soon.